Hello everyone, thanks for joining me on my first attempt here at leading you through a few yoga poses, a few poses that I'm learning myself here. Some background about me real quick. My name is Adrian and I'm actually a second year medical student. I decided to take yoga teacher training actually because my sister is also taking yoga teacher training. I would say between the two of us, she is absolutely the yogi. I'm pretty new to this, so I am very thankful for any feedback that you might have for me, and hopefully this goes smoothly for my first attempt here. So we're just gonna start out, and I want you to come to a seated position on the floor. I was a teacher in a former life, so I know this move as crisscross applesauce, though it's also called Sukhasana here. So your legs are just crossed, your hands can be relaxed or on your knees, in your lap, wherever you find them to be most comfortable. And then we're just gonna sit and notice our breath. Feel free to close your eyes if that's more comfortable for you. And just start to come here and into this moment. The word today for me that I have really reflected upon has just been present. I'm gonna really try my best to be present here with you and in this moment. And I ask that you allow yourself to be here and present in this moment, to try to forget about anything that you may have coming up for you, and realize that that is later, and just allow yourself this time to be here for you. Think about getting those shoulders down away from your ears. I know mine like to slowly creep through the day. Maybe just notice your breath getting a little deeper. Feels comfortable for you. Try to take a few big belly breaths, so when you breathe in, your stomach is going to expand, get nice, big, and round. And then as you breathe out, your belly button is going to go all the way back towards your spine. So breathing in, nice deep breath in, and out. In, and out. What you may find is as you're breathing out, you naturally find the ocean breath, which is that sound that's almost like a sigh, or like you are fogging up glass, so where you have a nice deep breath in, for me, I like to think of that ocean breath as almost a sigh, just where I can hear all of the stress leaving my body, getting me ready for the rest of this yoga set. Two more nice in and out breaths. One more. Next, we're gonna move into something that's called Sufi grind. So just start to find some rotation in your upper body as you're circling around. Notice that your butt bones are nice and firm on your mat still, but maybe you feel that rotation come from your hips. Maybe you feel it in your mid-back. When you get that nice rotation, we're going to add in our breath here. So as you go back, we're going to exhale. When you come forward, we're going to take a nice inhale. So really expand that chest forward. So exhaling back, really arching that back. Forward, inhaling, our collarbones are smiling. And maybe you still have that nice Ujjayi breath, the ocean breath, as you go backwards. And as you're ready, go ahead and switch sides. Noticing where there might be any tension in your back and spending a little more time there. If you'd like to include your head in some of these movements, feel free to do that. Oh, I love getting my shoulders into this one. And as we're moving, we're just gonna make slowly smaller spirals. And eventually, we're gonna find ourselves back in that still seated position. Just feel where you're connected to the mat here. Take another Ujjayi breath if that feels good to you. We are gonna make our way to cat-cow position. So we're gonna start in tabletop. So we want our hands to be nice and spread apart. I think about giving my whole hand out there, especially for those of you who may have wrist struggles, getting that full hand out and really pressing down into those fingertips as you come into this position. Your knees are under your hips, your hands are in line with your shoulders, and we're in a nice neutral back here. So as you breathe in, we're gonna come into cow. So think about dropping that belly to the floor, your head and your chest come up to the sky. And then as you exhale, you're going to arch your back to the sky, bring that belly button in. Nice inhale down, and exhale up. It sounds silly, but when I think of these positions, I think of cow as think about those udders hanging down and how heavy those are in that position. And then when you come up into a cat, you ever seen a cat hiss and arch its back, and oftentimes it's got every muscle tense, so I like to get really tight up in that, and then I release back down into cow. Exhaling up, inhaling down. Do 2 more of these. Feel free to include your head there if that feels nice as well. Excellent, we're gonna go into child's pose next, so bring those big toes together. You can widen your knees out if you'd like. I tend to do mine about the width of my mat. Then I take my hips, sink them back into my toes, and I'm gonna walk my hands out a little bit, and my head is gonna find my mat. Should feel a nice stretch here in your shoulders, and your hips. For some folks, this is a nice relaxing position. For others, this is quite a stretch. Feel free to kind of move your head back and forth, massage that forehead on the floor. And when you're ready, we're gonna come back up to that tabletop position. Excellent. Make sure your hands are spread nice and wide still. Your knees are under those hips. I like to find just a little bit of movement forward and backwards here. Just gives my wrists a little bit of a rest. And we're gonna move into the cobra position next. So we are going to keep our hands where they are, and we are going to sink our hips to the floor. And then we're gonna bring our whole body down to the floor here. So just rest your hands up now by your shoulders. You can let your forehead just rest on the floor. I like to start with baby cobra. So you're gonna take a big breath in and use that breath to bring your chest up and off the mat. Don't think about pushing with your hands, just using that breath. And then you're gonna release as you breathe out, back down. Another breath in and up. Feeling that stretch in your back. Try not to push yourself up with your hands. And relaxing back down. Let's do one more of those. Breathing in and up. And relaxing back down. So, this next one we're going to go into downward dog. So we're going to put our toes back underneath us. We're going to push from those hands that are at our shoulders and lift that tailbone to the sky. Now, this first downward dog of the day, you might notice that your hamstrings are pretty tight. Dogs like to be walked, so feel free to kind of pedal out those back feet. If your heels don't touch the ground, that's okay. They may never. Mine haven't yet. It's just more important to feel that stretch back in the backs of your legs and your calves. And we're gonna come back down into tabletop position, and if you'd like, you can take it all the way back into child's pose one more time. Take a few nice deep breaths here in child's pose. And whenever you're ready, we're gonna come back up to a nice seated position. So that was about a 10-minute mini flow, if you will. I definitely forgot to do Uttanasana in there, but it's starting to rain here, so I'd like to get my equipment inside. But I just want to say thank you so much for being with me and going through this short mini set with me, and I appreciate any feedback that you may have.